When teachers think about eliciting evidence, they tend to think about asking questions, and that can be very powerful, particularly if it's a question that yields evidence of a particular misconception, for example. But work has been done by people like James Dillon in the United States that has shown that when teachers make statements rather than asking questions, students give longer and more thoughtful replies. So if you ask the students, what do Democrats believe in an American politics lesson? And the student said, Democrats believe in progressive taxation. You might say, but most Republicans also believe in progressive taxation. What you've done there is to make a declarative statement. You're just saying something to the students that just keeps the conversation going. You can also use a statement to kind of rephrase what a student is saying. So you're saying that the first three elements in group one all have a single electron in the outer shell. You can use statements to share your thinking. That has been my experience, that hasn't been my experience. Your views just contradict what Jane just said. Now, why is this so important? Well, it turns out that if you make statements rather than asking questions, students tend to give longer and more thoughtful responses. We don't know why this is, but here's my hunch. You can be wrong answering a question. You can't be wrong responding to a statement. If we create an atmosphere in our classrooms where our students don't want to share their thinking with us, that's not their problem. That's our problem, because we can't do our job without evidence from our students about what's going on in their heads. And this is why I think making statements and getting into the habit of making statements can be so powerful. It's a really hard habit to break, by the way, as a teacher. One of the hardest things I ever did as a teacher was to get into the habit of making statements rather than asking questions, because we ask questions. That's what teachers do. But in addition to asking questions, which can be very powerful, if you want to sustain the conversation, if you want students to actually share their thinking with you and develop their ideas, then making statements is a really important part of a teacher's armory.